Hey guys, this is my review for Thief. So in this game you play as Garen, who is a master thief, and basically he goes around stealing stuff pretty much. But the main story to this game is that your friend falls into like some sort of magical power thing and you fall as well. And then you're trying to find out what happened. And the city is like tearing itself apart because it's something called like the gloom, which is some weird sickness which is affecting everyone, which is meant to have happened after you fell into like this weird magical power that I think like the Baron was trying to use, or like this random priest people that were trying to use it that worked for the Baron. And so basically you come back and then you start stealing stuff, and then you start trying to work out what happened to you and what happened to your friend. And then the Baron's trying to capture you, and pretty much you just walk around the city going from mission to mission. So there's 8 chapters in this game, and like prologue thing, which basically introduces the storyline for this game. I think the storyline is still based off the other 2 games, but I never played them, so I didn't really know like much about the characters or why we were supposed to care about them or why they were important, since they seem to have some connection to the characters. I mean, I do own the other Thief games, but they're really old, so I couldn't be bothered putting off the super crappy graphics just to learn the storyline of the game. But I mean, it's not that hard to pick up, but it's kind of annoying for like the first 4-ish chapters because I had no idea who like these people were that they were constantly talking about. They'd be like, I'm gonna go see my old friend and blah blah blah, and I'd be like, I have no idea who that is. I don't know why they're trying to make it seem like we should know who they are. The sound in this game is pretty cool, I would say. They have like a lot of like ambient background noises and stuff, which I thought was really cool, especially in the Asylum chapter. They did it really quite well for that one. So basically they had like pipes and moaning sounds and stuff all around you, and since you're playing on like surround sound, you kind of feel like you're immersed in like the area that you're in, which made it really interesting. The weapons in this game, you basically just got a bow and a baton, but I think they have like some weird name for the baton. And basically, baton's just for meleeing and stealth, like if you sneak up behind someone you can knock them out instantly. The bow, you have different types of arrows for it, so you got like explosive arrows, fire arrows, water arrows, rope arrows, basically all different kinds of arrows that you'd use in various missions. And then you've also got like this weird magical like looking power which you get after the prologue, which basically lets you like sense stuff, or I think they call it like focus points or focus. And then basically you can upgrade it, so you get bonus focus points, or you can buy them from the Queen of Thieves, or find them in certain stages. And then you get like bonuses, like you can increase like your marksman ability, or increase being able to find hidden objects in maps. And I mean, focus points are alright, they're not that exciting. You probably don't even need them to finish the game, honestly. It's not a hard game, it's really simple. I think the hardest thing is probably just finding, like reading the actual maps for the stages. It's quite badly made up. But yeah, basically you're just running around, following the map, doing random stuff, stealing items for gold to buy arrows or upgrades for your character. Otherwise, you got like the 8 main chapters, which probably take between 20 and 40 minutes each. And then there is about 28 side quests, which take between about maybe 5 minutes and 10 minutes to complete, not that long. They're pretty short, and you just get a little bit of gold for each of them, which you can use to buy bonus items if you're running out or you just needed more. The map layouts are right. They're very like just set locations. There's maybe 1 or 2 paths to each place that you can choose to go through for whatever play style you want to do. Whether you want to go full out and just start shooting people, or you want to try and be hidden and stealthy and never be heard and make it through the stage without alerting anyone. I usually just go for killing everyone that I come across because your character's quite strong with his like arrows. I think I got all the upgrades for the bow. So then pretty much you could just one-hit people if you shot them in the head, which was what usually I did, so that was pretty fun. Otherwise, I mean, You probably would want to play this game on hard because it's not a hard game. But I mean, if you actually want a challenge, you should definitely at least play it on hard. Otherwise, the graphics in this game is pretty cool. Scenery is pretty cool. Locations are pretty cool. Storyline was, I guess, alright. It would have been better if they had reintroduced all the characters rather than carrying on from like the previous two games, since I think like the last game was maybe in 1998 or something, or 2001, somewhere around there was the last game. So to kind of have it like 8 or 9 years later as carrying on from the same story doesn't really make much sense to me, but I still think they did quite a good job at it. It's quite fun, I guess. It does get a wee bit boring when you're constantly just wandering around looking for items to steal and just constantly dealing with like really easy bad guys that don't really do much smart things. Like, they throw rocks at you and stuff. They're not the most smartest enemies. Downsides to this game is probably it's very slow. It's not like a very fast-paced game. It's just constantly sneaking and lurking about, trying to do random things. There's not much replayability to this game. I don't think they really offered much. I mean, I kind of like that rather than just having the game end and then you can replay it from the beginning, they do it that you can go back to wherever a chapter started and then just play the chapter from inside the game. You don't have to replay the entire game all over again, which I quite liked. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't bother to replay it, because I mean, once you finish the game, there's not much point to replaying it unless you want like the achievements on Steam or something. Otherwise, I wouldn't replay it. Otherwise, yeah, there are collectible items and notes and stuff you can pick up. I couldn't really be bothered finding every single one, since they're not necessarily like really well hidden. It's just you kind of have to replay a couple chapters because you don't have the items when you first play the game through, so it's kind of annoying. And I don't know, I couldn't be bothered spending like hours and hours trying to find random items that don't seem to have much like actual interesting information in them. Otherwise, the map layouts I didn't really like. Like, they didn't make much sense. Sometimes you'd climb through like a second story window and you'd wind up in someone's basement on like another part of the map, which made no sense to me. Otherwise, usually it was alright. They didn't do it like super badly, but there were just so many parts which just annoyed me. Or like, I especially hate the little town that you live near. I think it's called like Stone Mason or something, Stone City or something like that, which is basically the main city where all the shops and stuff are and side quests are all kept. And it annoys me that they sort of like split the one map into like 6 different areas, so then you have to load between each one when you're trying to do side missions, which it just really annoys me, since all the other maps seem quite large, but like you can still roam around them, even though some of the areas you can't really go backwards in. You just have to keep going forward. But even so, I kind of prefer maps where you can go back and forward and go anywhere without having to continuously reload areas. Lockpicking and stuff like that in this game kind of sucks. But yeah, otherwise, if I had to give this game a rating, I'd give it a 6 out of 10, because it wasn't the most amazing game, but it was pretty fun. This is just my opinion of the game. If you agree with it or don't agree with it, make sure to drop what you thought of the game in the comments below this video. Otherwise, I'm only going to give it a 6 out of 10. Okay guys, see ya.